Hello and welcome to the Divas and Decaf podcast. I'm Sasha.
I'm Mumsy.
And I'm Bubba, and I'm back.
He's back, and
So I apologize for the inconsistency. But just be grateful that I'm here.
okay, so today we're here to react to episode 6 of season 10, Bachelor in Paradise, summer 2025. Let's get right into it. So they start off 1 hour to the rose ceremony.
Yep, there's it's gonna be cutthroat right in the beginning here. They're gonna get right to it, the ceremony. There is only six golden women, and it looks like 3 of them are gonna go home.
Right. Gary needs to decide who he's going to give his rose to. Is it between Leslie and Nancy?
Leslie, Nancy, and
Natasha.
well, Natasha wants to be in the running, but we kind of know that she's not. But Big G, he knows he's a hot commodity.
That's what I was gonna say. Is he says Big G has some decisions to make tonight, so he dubbed himself Big G, which was pretty funny. Kim's bopping around. He's exploring all options in his imaginary world where he thinks everyone's interested in him. He's got Faith, Nancy. Who was the other one?
Well, don't forget about his imaginary relationship with Leslie.
Right. Yeah. Can't forget about that one. So he's exploring all the options. Then they flash to Dale and Kat. All I wrote about this conversation is capital letters narcissist. And I noticed whenever he talks about his former relationships, it's always the other person's fault. Funny how that works.
Well, yeah, and then he even, you can tell he's interested in this. I think her name is, we were calling her Alicia last episode. I think it's Alicia, whatever. Yeah. You can tell he's like interested in her. So then they show him talking to Kat saying like, he's kind of blaming her for being elusive. And I think it's just because, it's coming off to me like he wants to he's trying to find something wrong with Kat to blame her for something so he can go catch himself a date.
Yeah, he's like, you're not opening up fast enough, you're not giving me enough, blah blah blah. And it's like, Dale, quit blaming everyone but yourself.
Let's not forget, quote, Dale knows what it's like to be judged. This guy has word vomit like you've never seen, and the camera people are there to pick up every word of it.
I think you're right, though. I think he does have a personality disorder. You mentioned that last episode.
Yeah, and I have to say it one more time. I don't know how the caption people keep getting funnier every episode.
Yeah, they're killing it.
But they are killing it.
Okay, so then we get into did you have some other notes here? Before the rose ceremony?
Well, before the rose ceremony, they want the people to quit mingle because the rose ceremony is less than an hour away now. And so they kind of flashed to a few people. I know Kim, I don't know what I think of Kim. I do feel kind of bad. They said he lost his wife. He said they had 8.5 years together. And then him and Nancy are talking about, she lost her husband. They're over there trauma bonding.
Yeah.
And, that's about it. They flashed to Dale. Dale can't get enough TV time. He's got word vomit he loves it.
I just can't say it enough. He thinks he's pretty special. Even the way he sits, you can tell he just thinks he's something else. Yeah, he's got some issues. Okay, then they get into the rose ceremony. We got 2 rose ceremonies this episode, so they started off with one, and then we got one at the end too.
Yeah, we didn't have any last time, and now what? Yeah, you're right. There was 2 this episode.
Yeah, so Brian goes first. The guys have the roses. He gives his to Priza. Andrew's next, gives his to Alex. And then Jeremy gives his to Bailey. Spencer gives his to Jess. Dale gives his to Kat.
Wait, pause. He did give his to Kat, but when they showed him right before he was about to go, he said it's a difficult one.
Yeah. He did say that.
Meaning it was a difficult decision.
Between Kat and Alicia.
Kat is... I guarantee Kat didn't know that, but...
Yeah.
Okay, continue. Sean was next.
Yeah, there's no way Kat knew that. Sean goes next, gives his to Alicia. Jonathan gives his to Leia. Keith gives his to Kathy. Kim ends up giving his to Faith.
I think he I think he ended his imaginary relationship with Leslie.
Finally.
Yeah.
Finally.
I think that, yeah.
And then Gary goes last.
Big G
goes last, and he gives his to Leslie.
Now, don't forget Sean. Don't forget after Sean gave his to Alicia, they interviewed her real quick, and she said she really wanted to get it from Dale.
Yes.
And then the caption people put below her name, Plan B it is. That.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah. So to our dismay, April did get sent home. No one was crazy enough for April. That's what Mumsy said. We will miss April and her cougar ways, is what I said.
Yeah, we will miss April.
Yeah, April's crazy and funny. There just was nobody there to match it with her. That's a bummer.
And then Jesse makes the announcement that there will be no more new arrivals to Paradise, and now they have a chance to actually win money. So they're going to be like coupled up as teams, and they have a chance to win $500,000 or up to $500,000. Kim states that he has no motivation for the money. He is there for love.
Kim stated that?
No, yeah. It was, or did he also?
He said that, yeah.
One of the girls said that too.
Kathy said that too, but I guess I don't remember Kim saying it. The only thing that then they showed Kim, and well, don't forget Nancy went home too, and they did flash him talking to Nancy, and then who was the next person he talked to? Somebody else's spouse. The only conversation Kim has is about whose spouse has died. They're just leaving it into. They're just having a sob story over here on Kim's side.
Yeah,
I do feel bad for Kim, but anyways, let's move on.
Yeah. So so now they have the chance to win money. So the next morning, they flash to the next morning. All the couples are kind of quizzing each other on favorite color, favorite place, stuff like that, just to kind of prep for their first relationship challenge, which ends up being a quiz that's called High Low What Do You Know? Basically, they give a number, they have to guess whether their partner was higher or lower. That's the gist of it. Side note, I had a little side note here. Mumsy gets annoyed with Faith, and I've decided it's because she's a pick-me.
I agree.
Faith, yeah, don't even get me started with her. That little game that they had, and the question was, Kim had to guess if it was higher or lower that she spent $25 on her skincare. Was it skincare every month?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if a boy could do that. Like face lotion cost that much.
Yeah, she was
much.
wearing like makeup too.
Right.
Yeah, and so he went with a normal answer, which would be higher because he thought that was pretty low. And she said nope, she only spends $20.
You're not buying it.
Faith, you BSer. Who are you trying to BS?
Pick me. She's so low maintenance. That's what she says. She's so low maintenance.
She's so full of.
I'm so easy to date.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know. I don't dislike Faith, but she's definitely a pick me. Okay, so I had that note.
Big G dropping the ball.
Yep, Big G dropped the ball. He took Big G took a big L because it came down to the winners were going to get a special date, and then the bottom three couples could be up for elimination. So Gary, he had to just bet one chip, and he would have been right in the middle. He wouldn't have won, but he wouldn't have lost, and also it wasn't even possible for him to win. But nope, he decides to take half his stack and bet it, and he gets it wrong, gets him and Leslie put down in the bottom three.
To top it off, a totally dumb question that he probably should have got right anyways, but like, Gary, I think he would have actually been in the top three if he would have just bet a chip, and like he still would have been in the top, not even the middle. So there was like no chance of him going home if he would have just wagered one chip,
I think
win or lose.
I think poor Gary blacked out and went in fight or flight when he got put on the spot.
He did. He did. He wasn't thinking at all.
Did not make the right decision.
So yeah, bottom three were Priza and Brian, Leslie, Gary, and Faith and Kim. So, also a side note, in the real world, I think Mumsy said this, in the real world, Jeremy couldn't even get any of these girls, but now that he's on Paradise, and this is all the girls have to choose from, all of a sudden, Bailey's into him. Well, she's been into him the whole time, but that's because there's not much to choose from.
We've seen this before on previous episodes where we're like, okay, in the real world, this is not the selection you would have. And then they get big-headed.
Yeah, they get really full of themselves.
So Jeremy's big-headed, he thinks he thinks Susie wants him. He thinks he's playing Bailey. I mean, like, he's a poser.
Yeah, you are delusional, Jeremy.
Yeah. And
have you guys talked about Jeremy and Brian's?
No, we're not there yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so Bailey and Jeremy win the date. Bailey is totally smitten. As Mumsy says, Jeremy is a fraud because Bailey still has no idea that he was asking for Susie back. I also had a random note. I think Andrew is funny. He just does random stuff and it's funny. Just wanted to put that out there.
Andrew, I think you'd be my buddy.
And then on their date, Bailey and Jeremy on their date, Jeremy says, quote, "I don't like the Goldens. They're annoying."
I have down in my notes, Jeremy,
Yikes.
Take a big, long look in the mirror because everybody thinks you're annoying.
Him and his tuft on his...
on his belly.
Have you guys addressed the tuft yet?
His strip tuft.
Not on this episode.
Oh, on the last one. Okay.
Yeah, we've talked about it in previous episodes.
Yikes.
Then Brian... Oh, go ahead.
Well, it's funny because we're going to touch on this later when it gets to the second rose ceremony. But now that I'm looking back, I have a note here saying I'm not sure, Leah, I want to call her Leah the way she spells it, and Jonathan, I don't think they're going to make it. I can see they're like friends. I even have a note of that, and that'll come into play later.
Yeah, I made a note of that too at some point that you can tell Jeremy's not into her.
No, Jonathan.
Or Jonathan, yeah, sorry. And then Brian and Priza have a weird conversation where he tells her that she compliments him too much. I just wrote WTF. I don't know. I'm not sure what he was doing with that conversation there.
Yeah, listen, Brian, he writes about, he tells her about how he's had past relationships with that needed reassurance, and he was saying it as a complaint. And as Bubsy put it, I wonder why, Brian. And then he doesn't want to be complimented, apparently. I guess he doesn't like then they were flashing to the compliments that Parisa was giving him, totally normal fare. She said he smelled clean and that he had nice cheekbones.
You
what?
Sound good.
Yeah, what? Those are just totally normal. Those aren't over-the-top compliments. They're just nice things to hear. Yeah, Brian.
I can't believe Parisa would tell him those things.
Yeah. What were you thinking, Parisa?
Yeah, he actually went to the point to say, "You're over complimenting me," and it's a turn. He actually said it's a turn off when somebody does that, and it's like, well, we're also showcasing why he's single.
Yeah, Sasha, what'd you say? I think you said it perfect. Parisa's maybe a little too sensitive, and Brian's what?
I said Prisa's very sensitive, and then Brian's kind of a jerk, and it's not going well.
Yeah, they're not.
No, and
they're not going to make it.
And then he also has to make sure he says that he personally doesn't need any assurance.
Insurance.
He should, yeah. He personally doesn't need assurance, so nobody else should because he doesn't need it.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, moving on. My next note, I don't remember what triggered this, but I just wrote, Jeremy disgusts me. What is Bailey gonna do when she finds out about all the Susie stuff?
Poor Bailey
she's
is
gonna
being
feel pretty dumb.
Yeah, she's being conned big time.
Yeah.
Their whole relationship is a fraud. The date was a fraud. The whole thing.
Yeah. Let's see here.
If they're still together when this aired on TV, and I don't think.
If they are, they both have problems.
Yeah.
Also, I have a little note
here. If they're still together when this airs, and if she stays with him after this airs on TV, there's
right.
Then they both got some issues. But we'll touch on this, and I'm not sure. I think I remember why I wrote this. Faith and Kim might just be the couple that should make a go. The way they were trotting down the beach.
I know they're weirdly a good match.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
And she's a pick-me, but I don't think Kim can even see. I don't think he senses that.
Right?
Yeah.
It's perfect for her.
So I think these two might make a go.
Yeah, they're trotting along the beach and making horse noises, and we were laughing at that. Okay, I also wrote that Gary might be a good match for Leslie because she hasn't had a good go with the men, and he seems to kind of like giving her pep talks and stuff. So I think he might actually be a good match for her in the long run if they stay together or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be a bad match. I'm just laughing because how he blew it in the end of this episode with his.
I know, and she was mad. I would have been way more mad than her.
In the beginning of the episode, he's this hot commodity. He even said Big G was a hot commodity, and then he ended the episode on. He lost it all.
He made a mistake
Yeah.
and he paid for it.
He did end up paying for it in the end. Yup.
Feel bad for him though. Poor Big G.
So now, since Jeremy and Bailey won the challenge, and the women have the roses this week, Bailey essentially gets to choose who ends up going home. But Jeremy thinks that because he's with Bailey, that it's ultimately his choice. So he wants to influence and choose who goes home. But he wants to send Brian home. But when Brian sits down and talks with all the other guys, and they're saying they're talking, as soon as Brian sits down, well, all of a sudden now Jeremy says it's on Bailey. It's Bailey's decision.
Right,
He wants to take credit for it and make the decision, but not if Brian's sitting there. I let Mumsy pick that. You pick that out.
He's just fake all around.
Yeah, he's sitting there, and he said a couple times in this episode how much he enjoys having the power. He likes playing God. This guy doesn't. First of all, it's Bailey's decision.
Is God.
Yeah,
He thinks he's God.
yeah. He's getting a little touch of power here. He's like drunk with it.
Yeah, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. That is someone who should not have power.
Yeah, I actually have a little note here. Because there's a saying about people who want the power are the exact people who shouldn't wield it. That saying was made for this dipshit.
Yeah.
For Jeremy, that saying is for you. Okay, so let's get into the Jonathan and Leah drama. So I wrote here, Jonathan's not into Leah romantically. I think it's pretty obvious. They are saying that they're friends, and that might be an advantage. Whenever she tries to make a little fish for a compliment, or maybe there's a chance in the future, he basically just stares at her. The body language. I think it's pretty obvious that Jonathan's not into her like that. That's just my opinion.
I think so too.
But then Jonathan tells Kat that they're just friends, and Kat's like, well, does Leah know that? And he says, yeah. Then Kat talks to Leah, and Leah's like, no, he didn't say that to me. Which he didn't maybe say the words very directly, but it's not. I thought she knew by the way she was talking.
This whole time I've known that, and even when they went into this contest, they're like, well, we're friends, so this could be an advantage. And you can just tell with their body language and stuff that's why I had a note in the beginning there, like they're just not going to make it as a couple because they're friends. And when Kat asks him about that, Jonathan kind of confirms, well, no, he's not into her. He doesn't feel anything for her because she's friend. Now, I saw that along. I think everybody watching kind of has that same vibe. I don't know. And then when Kat goes over to tell her, then Jess and a couple of the girls are kind of like, what? Like, I think they were kind of egging her on a little bit, so she got all salty about the whole thing. I guess in her head, like Kim, she also had an imaginary relationship that was blossoming, I guess. I don't know. Maybe she was hopeful, but you could tell with her body language there wasn't going to be a thing.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think she picked up on Jonathan's non-interest in her.
Yeah.
But she also didn't directly ask. She should have.
Yeah, she didn't ask him either.
Got some clarity by asking.
So
if this is something.
Yeah, so now after hearing from the girls, she does decide to pull Jonathan and ask, and then he tells her very directly, no, I don't have romantic feelings for you. I don't know if it could go anywhere in the future, but as of right now, black and white, it's a no for me. And she got really salty and stormed away, and she's like, he's telling everyone something, and I'm the last to find out. And it's like, but when she pulled him and started the conversation, she started off by saying, hey, I know we're just friends. So she did know. Am I wrong?
No, that's I've seen it the whole time that they were like, just you could see it wasn't really. Even she took him on that date when she got a date card, and you could tell right there. And she even said, "I don't think he. It's really distracting." He was like eating food, not paying attention. Like they didn't have vibes right from the get go. They've been kind of hanging out because they're the only. Now it's just down to couples, so there is nobody else to like pick from. So they're just kind of hanging out as friends. I mean, that's the impression I got. I don't know. I told you. We saw Leah on. Was she on Joey's season? Yeah. She was kind of dumb then. Maybe she's just a little naive. I don't know, but maybe in her head, like I said, she must have thought there was something more. I mean, you kind of see from the outside watching there wasn't, but I guess.
Right. I don't know. I saw some stuff on social media that they were kind of hating on Jonathan, and now after watching it, I was like, I don't know if that's valid. I don't know. I thought he was pretty direct with her, so yeah. Anyway, okay, next subject. Let's see here. Prisa's in the background. She's spiraling. Brian is totally unaware. He's talking to people, and she's like staying behind him, and she kind of feels left out. He's just like unaware of her feelings and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I just made a note of that.
I also had a note here. I don't remember where I put it, but there was a note. I was going to say this last episode that I had in my notes last episode. I don't know if it got brought up or not. That Brian, you can tell when they're like interviewing him or when he's talking to people, he's like super self-centered. Like just there's like little things, and Prisa sees it too. Like he'll go up and talk, and he won't make room for her, and he won't like acknowledge that she's there and stuff. And like it keeps showing every episode.
Yeah.
He just keeps ignoring the red flag.
Yeah, there's red flags there. He's like a self-centered person, especially like in a relationship.
Right. I don't think he is like narcissistic like Dale, but I do think he's self-centered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
That's
Also,
how I would classify
how old
it.
is he, Brian?
I don't know. They're not showing
30,
their ages this
30
season.
something. But yeah, he's a 30-something-year-old frat boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what he is.
Okay, then they show some more stuff about Jeremy and Bailey. You know, they want to make a decision. Jeremy says he wants to make sure Bailey makes the right decision for us. And I wrote, you mean for you, Jeremy. You want her to make the right decision for you.
Yeah, I can't get over on how he's like, I like being in power. Like, first of all, Jeremy, you're conning Bailey. You are not in power. You would love to think you were. And I like how, like, right before the ceremony, he needed to go sit with Bailey because, quote, he said, Bailey needed his guidance on the decision making. like she can't handle this herself. Wow.
Yeah, wow, Jeremy. I also have some direct quotes from Jeremy. Quote, I like playing God, from Jeremy. Quote, I like the power, from Jeremy, or as I like to now call him, Little J.
Great nickname.
I'm calling him LJ for loser Jeremy. That's what I'm calling him from here on out. LJ. When I say LJ, it's loser Jeremy.
Yeah, he's pretty bad. Okay, do you have any other notes before the rose ceremony?
Well, okay, so the Big G was trying to make some deals. You know, they had the people in the last minute.
Yeah.
Everybody,
I scratch your back, or you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Oh, I do have one more too.
Yeah, so they got the three couples. Just one of them are going to go home. Just one of the couples is going to go home out of the three. So now they're trying to, plead their case to Bailey, like on why they should stay or whatever. So then they flash a Big G. Big G, he's trying to make some deals. He was being kind of funny. He got himself into this position. Poor Big G.
Yeah. And then I have, so Brian knows that Jeremy was asking for Susie back, and he knows all that drama. So Brian decides to pull Jeremy and have a conversation and kind of like almost blackmail him a little bit, which I thought was kind of awesome, because also the producers were playing, like, they were staying there with their hands folded, and the producers were playing like mafia music. It was pretty it's pretty good on the producers' part.
Yeah, minus Brian and Jeremy, they have sitting across from each other, and they're like, they think they're making like a mob deal.
Yeah. Right.
Brian decides he's gonna talk to him. He's gonna blackmail him, and he was using like mob lingo. And I'm not quite sure if Jeremy picked up on it though.
Yeah, Jeremy's like, I don't understand the motive, so I don't know if he picked up on it or not. But basically,
basically, without just being super direct, Brian was kind of like, I know things, basically kind of blackmailing him, saying like, if I don't get picked here, stuff's gonna come out, meaning he's gonna spill the beans on all the drama with Susie that Bailey has no idea.
Right, and he also said, if you do give us a rose, like, I don't forget things. So it was kind of a funny conversation.
Yeah, they were turning on each other. It was very entertaining.
Yes.
Yeah, they were turning on each other, LJ and Brian.
Yeah. Do you have any other notes?
Let's see. Well, other than he likes the power, which we've established that he didn't even have the power.
Jeremy,
just the thought of him having power went right to his head. But other than that, yeah.
All right, let's get into the rose ceremony.
Get Jeremy into politics.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Get this man into politics.
He'd be lying. 3,000 times a day, probably. Okay, so then we get into the rose ceremony. Girls have the roses, but Bailey gets to choose who gets to go home or has to go home. Bailey walks down, gives a rose to Jeremy. Alex gives her rose to Andrew. Kathy gives a rose to Keith. Alicia gives her rose to Sean. Kat gives her rose to Dale. Jess gives her rose to Spencer. They're going strong, no drama. They're not even on the show, basically, because they don't have any drama and they're going strong. They just get a couple flashes here and there of them. Leigh gets down. She calls Jonathan's name. He walks up, and all she says is, "You're welcome."
Yeah, she didn't. There was nobody else to really give the rose to, so these were all kind of givens because no new people came in.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that was. I don't. Even though she knew she was kind of friend zoning, I thought it was kind of funny when she just gave it to him and said, "You're welcome." For some reason, I did think that was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
Kind of funny. Clearly still very salty.
Yeah. So then it comes down to the bottom three couples, and Bailey calls Faith's name. Faith gets to stay in. She gives her rose to Kim. Then she calls down Leslie, and it turns out she called down Leslie to be eliminated. So her and Gary do get eliminated. Gary pays for his gambling mistake in the beginning. He pays dearly.
Yeah, and I've been giving Leslie a hard time because I know I've been saying the last couple of episodes she bugs me because she kind of does. But I was kind of bummed that her and Gary are going home because A, I think they're a good couple, and B, like they've been there
yeah.
Faith and Kim. Faith just got there, and they had been together like 24 hours. So I am bummed that Leslie has to go home. And Gary, especially Gary, because Gary is a little bit of entertainment. He's pretty funny. So I wasn't sure. I actually didn't see it going that way. So I was a little bit bummed. Poor Leslie and Gary. But, Gary, you did that. You could have been in. Like, Gary, Big G screwed up big time.
Yeah, Big G did not need to be in the bottom three. So then they call down Parisa. Parisa gets to give a rose to Brian. Her and Brian live to see another day, even though their relationship's kind of rocky right now. As they're walking out, Jeremy says he didn't see that coming. So obviously Bailey took all of his words and thoughts and did nothing with them, which I thought was great.
So Jeremy, you did not in fact have the power.
That you had no power.
Either that or he was saying
you are not God.
Either that or he might have been saying that about, they said the next episode. Oh, the preview was he? I don't know. Either way, they're talking about the same thing. The preview was good. They said the next one, there is people here that are, how did Jesse put it?
People here that are interested in others that are not their current partner. Or he said it more eloquently, but
yeah, which was directed at Jeremy
and Dale,
and possibly Dale. Now, here's a note I pass up on. Talking about Brian and Parisa, they need to find more compatible people for each other. They're not it.
Right.
But they're still going to be there for at least next episode.
Right.
Yeah.
And then also in the preview, they show that they're going to be basically having a compatibility test to see who they're interested in and who would match up. It sounds like we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping that Brian does turn on Jeremy and he tells Bailey. It looks like he might by the previews, but you never know how they're editing it. And yeah, that's basically all I got.
Yeah, well, they've been showing us kind of a teaser of Bailey finding out for the last two previews now, and they haven't come to it yet. I mean, she must find out. I can't see how they would edit it any differently. So we're waiting for that to happen. Probably next episode, I'm thinking, but we'll see.
We'll see. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that moment because she deserves to know if they're going to continue on with this relationship. She's pretty smitten and she has no idea. So, yeah. Any other thoughts, guys?
I think that's all I have until the next episode. We'll see what happens. The show is kind of pivoted, so it's kind of like it's a game and a contest kind of now, and money is involved, so different things are going to happen. So we'll kind of see how this develops as it goes on.
Yep, that sounds good. Make sure to tune in to the next episode. We'll be talking about episode 7 next. And yeah, that's all we got. All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.